this is where I track drums, and I like it. It's like 26 by 16 feet. Not all the walls are parallel, so that helps. I got a couple clouds up. I'm adding a couple more that I have in the other room. Just have to install them. I love recording drums with hardwood floors. It just adds a liveliness that I like. The last band I recorded was a pop punk band, and I had them in the center here. I had the kit in the center, and the kit was explosive, all right? And I like that, but I wanted to control it a little bit. So I built these panels. I built 6 of them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then I got one behind the kit, which is 6. And I'm going to explain them to you in case you want to build them, all right? So what these are is, it's Owens Corning 705. You could get 703, but the 705 is a little denser, and I feel it has better bass control. I'm not a scientist. That's just what I feel. Because when I feel it, it feels denser, all right? And I've dealt with both. I've built many, many bass traps and absorbers and diffusers. So if you see here, I bought the fabric from Joann Fabric, and it's just a felt. And look how tight my corners are. I'm proud of myself, guys. If you guys want to know about these, let me know. I bought the material off Amazon, except for Home Depot. I bought the spray glue, and then Joann Fabric, I bought the fabric. But I will get you guys the link to this 705 Owens Corning. So these 3 are stationary, and then that one I can move around, that one I can move around, and the one behind the drums I can move around. So we are going to go over my drums. It is a Tama Art Star 2 Hard Canadian Maple. I know if you see my other videos, you heard some of this before, but I changed some things. That's why I'm going to go through it. When I say change some things, temporarily, I'm always changing things, right? So this kit is a pretty well-known, well-used kit between the 80s and 90s. Metallica had one. Dave Grohl played a black one in Nirvana. Neil Peart played one of these. This one is piano white. It's coated on the inside and out. And it is a virgin kit, meaning there's no holes in it for rack toms to go through, right? And I like that. It adds a punch to it that I like a lot. Yamaha MZ204 just outside the kick. I do that a lot with my own music. And then this is newer to me. I've used it for a few sessions. I recorded like 4 bands with this so far. And man, I wish I would have got this thing years ago. This is a Solomon sub mic. And this one's called the Trooper because it's black and white. I just bought it because it matches my kit. I could have got it in all black or all white, and it's just aesthetically different. There's no difference between the different colors. It's just, if you want an all black one, you get an all black one. If you want an all white one, you get an all white one. I got this one because I think it's cool that it's black and white. It sort of matches my kit. Cymbals are dark custom Ks. The hi-hat and ride are from the 60s Zildjian. This snare is new to me. This is, I just bought this. It's a 1976 Ludwig Superphonic pointy badge, blue olive. And it's the first time I've ever used fiber skins. This is called the Skytone. And I like it. I like it. This snare is awesome, but I just really like the sound of it. Now, I'm doing something that has never been done before with these. I am using an SM57 on the top and an SM57 on the bottom. I know. It's crazy, but I try and be innovative here and try new things all the time. And on the hi-hat, I have a Neumann KM84 from 1972. And on the toms, I have a Biodynamic D35s, but when the 3-piece indie band comes in here, I'm going to swap those out for 421s, because ultimately I do like the 421s better. But these are not bad. I just like the 421s about 12% better, right? And I'll probably put these on the bottom, because I never really mic top and bottom toms, and I see other people doing it. I'm like, man, I should try that. I should really be doing that, but I just never do. I just always mic the top, and I'm happy with it. So, but I'm gonna try it. I'll probably put these on the bottom and my 421s on the top. If you look right here behind the drummer's head, there is a Beyer M160 pointing down at the snare. This mic is equal distance. I think of it as a third overhead. So this, and this are all the same distance from the snare. You see this rope right here? I always keep rope around because that's how I measure from the center of the snare to the overheads. And I got 3 overheads. 1, 2, and then behind the drummer's head. Those overheads were my room mics, but I love them so much. I'm just so torn between them. I feel like I have to get another pair. They're Mojave MA300s, all right? So right now, my stereo room is an R88, and this is no slouch. I'll add some compression to this, hard pan it left and right. Beautiful microphone. Beautiful natural sounding microphone. I've used that as overheads before. Now, that's about 7 feet in front of the kit, waist high. My overheads, and I just put these stands together with the counterweights because it's very important that my overheads are exactly where I want them to be. These are tube microphones, Mojave MA300s. They got a 15 dB pad on it, low pass, and they have 3 polar patterns. They have cardioid, figure 8, and omni. All right, these are tube microphone. The power supplies are down there, and I'm going to show you something. So if you look right there. See how it's figure 8 on the right, cardioid in the center, and omni on the left? Those polar patterns are completely variable. I could have it cardioid, where it's picking up in front of the mic, omni, where it's picking up all the way around the mic, or figure 8, where it's picking up the front and the back. Being completely variable, I could control how much focus I want on the kit at cardioid, focus the front, or I could put a 20% omni and the rest cardioid, and it opens it up a little bit and gives me more room sound. I just can't believe how powerful that is. You could control how much room you're getting versus focus on the kit. I have to either get another pair of those or go with the FET version for my room. So I'm sort of torn between that, and eventually I will, but you know, none of this stuff is cheap, my friends, and I know you guys know that. So that is the whole kit and everything mic'd up. I also record guitars in here and stuff like that when I have a band in. They're usually in here tracking, and I'm in the other control room, and I do vocals in here. This is vintage U47. No, it's not. It is a clone of a vintage U47. It's called the Flea F7, all right? And it's a great microphone. Multiple times I have compared this microphone with the real U47, long bodies, short bodies, real VF14 tubes, and every time the original 47 was better than this, all right? Not by a huge mile, but it was better. I'd say about 8 to 12% better. I preferred the original. With that being said, I'm cool with that because this is still an amazing microphone, and it's built great. It feels good, and it sounds amazing. It has that big bottom like a U47 and a sweet top, and it's just an amazing microphone. The reason why I'm happy with this microphone is because, number one, the sound. Number two, if I had an original and the tube died, it would cost me $3,000 to replace it, give or take, if I could find an original VF14 tube, all right? With this microphone, it takes an EF12 tube, which looks identical to a VF14. It's a big metal can tube. I could get it spares. I have spares. You get them for $100. So that makes me feel better. And they're plentiful. So great microphone. Great microphone. I have that out. People sing through it. I put that up for people that can sing. All right. And it's good for other things too. Guitar, drums, all sorts of stuff. I want to tell you guys, I finally added to my wall plate. Here it is. Before it was just these 18 XLRs down here, but now I added 2 instrument jacks, all right? So 1/4-inch jack, you could, bands plug their guitar in right here, and it goes to amplifiers in the booth over there in the other room, which is awesome. And then I got headphones right here on the top, which could be anything. Neve 1064s, I added 4 more XLRs. So 24 going through. And that is my tracking room. This goes through the wall into my control room, all right? Right now, I have all those drums coming through. And you've seen this in other videos, so I'm just going to be real quick about it. These are all my close mics, vintage API 312s, and then the R88 stereo room mic is this Neve 1272. I have it coming through the burls in the Pro Tools. From Pro Tools, I have it spread across my board for monitoring. Let's do this together. Let's hear those drums and what they sound like going through these pre's in that room, all right? So here we go. This is my 1978 Les Paul Special. It has its original P90s in it, which are absolutely freight train sounding. I love this guitar. It is going into my JMP 100, all right? This cable's coming across the floor into my JMP 100. This is going into its original cab. This is loaded with G12M 25 watt blackbacks. Not greenbacks, blackbacks. They're the same thing, but they do sound different. They're the same model number, but they sound different between blackback and greenback. Greenbacks are earlier, blackbacks are later. These are from 1978, or sorry, 79, this cab. There's two different ways, well, there's many different ways, but I am going for a rock and roll sound, all right? And we together are going to achieve it. There's mainly two different ways I do it, where I mic two different speakers. Now, that's what I'm doing here with the Beyer M201 and the Beyer M160, all right? And then here's the other way, and I got it set up because I'm going to be recording this next. Both microphones on the same speaker with Royer R121 and Shure SM57 Unidyne 3, the vintage one. We're going to hear that today. These two microphones are coming through into a pair of 1064s. The bottom one is the Beyer M201 and the top one is the Beyer M160. Okay, so here's an example of how you check for phase. First of all, I know it's in phase, and let me show you how. Very full sounding, right? Let me flip the phase on one of my preamps. Listen to this. It's canceling each other out, and that's what you want. So now when I flip the phase back in, it's beautiful full sounding. That's with no plugins. It's just microphones, preamp, with the EQ engage, through the burl, straight into Pro Tools. All right, for the bass guitar, I'm going to keep it pretty simple. I got my Yamaha BB300. I have it going into an EP booster. The EP booster is going into a Neve 1064 as a DI. And it actually sounds pretty good. Let's hear it. It'll do. Left and right rhythm tracks are done. I am going through my 1979 Les Paul Custom. I bought this in 2001. I wanted a Black Beauty, but this is all they had at the store. And once I played it and heard it, I didn't care about the color. It just sounded and played so beautiful, I had to have it. And I love this guitar. So I'm going to use this to accentuate and just add to the rhythm guitars. We're blending here, right? So that Les Paul Custom is going into my 1983 JCM 800 here. And the rhythm left and right, we're going through this. We're done with that. And this 800 is going through its original cab, which is a 1983, and it has the Celestion T75s in it. And I have it mic'd with a vintage 57 Unidyne 3 and a Royer R121, phase correct, just like how I did the left and right rhythms. And that is coming through, and I am using the exact same preamps. The only thing I did was change the mid-range EQ a little bit, okay? And it's going straight into Pro Tools.